Hello and welcome to A Couple of Switch, where today we're on our second part of the double deck profile for both me and Aaron came top 32 at the regionals. How do you feel, Aaron?
I feel great, thank you.
What did you play today?
I played Bloomlord.
And how did that feel?
It felt really great. I actually, funnily enough, I picked up, I've only played this deck at one locals in Stockholm, last year, I think. And I played it yesterday at our BT12 locals with Quartzmon. And I was originally gonna play Bielsa for this regional, but then I, lost really badly against Mervacross. I think I went, 0-4, 0-5 against Mervacross.
Oh, in our playtesting, you mean?
Yeah, against
Sorry,
you and
sorry, dude.
I was like, yeah, I'm playing something else. And I was like, Bloom was pretty fun. Let's play Bloom. So, a really good matchup against Mervacross, which I thought was going to be a popular deck because it's been doing great. So I was like, I'll play Bloom.
So you want to get into it?
Yeah, sure.
The stage is yours. Go ahead.
All right. So I played 4 Gummymons, which was actually a point of contention for me. I was originally playing Argomon, but my good friend Oliver, maybe better known as Baus Online, was very adamant about Gummy being better for a while now, and it was okay. I don't think any of them are particularly great, but the draw does help you refill your hand, because what I've noticed was a pattern, and was probably what he noticed as well, was that you need you won't always win on one big combo, and this allows you to go a little bit safer. You can build another stack, or you can just go Hydro Control. This facilitates that better than the Argomon. So yeah, Gummymon was kind of fine. It was, as I said, it wasn't amazing, but none of the eggs were amazing. It was probably better than Argomon overall. When you do get the draw from this, it's actually fairly good. So I was pretty happy with the decision. Typically in green, you play 5. A lot of people play 5 eggs because they play Mimi and stuff like that. And I used to actually play Mimi, which was, I don't know if it's controversial or anything, but it was something that's a little bit odd in the Stockholm community. Most people cut Mimi. But I decided to play it. But I still went with the 4 eggs. And I think that's still correct, because I felt like even with the Mimi, the game is so fast now, you rarely get to the 5th egg anyway.
Yeah.
And I just want to consistently do the thing I want to do. I don't want to have that randomness where I'm have an egg that does something slightly worse. And sure, sometimes I high roll and that egg was the perfect egg for the spot, but most of the time, if I decide to play one egg over the other, it's gonna be better. It's only when the decks do very similar things that I would consider the 5th egg. And that's only if we're in a very slow meta. So I really liked 4 eggs and not playing 5. Then going on for the level 3s, I played 3 Palmon. 4 Palmon, sorry. Yeah, this card's great. It's the best search engine in the deck.
Yeah.
The fact I can get a Bloomlord together with a plant or vegetation is actually insane, because what it says specifically is you get to add a vegetation or plant and 1 card with fairy. So it always adds the Bloomlord because it's the only fairy in the deck. And it's so insane because you get 2 pieces sometimes instead of just 1, which is yeah, it's just amazing in a combo deck like this. I love playing it for free as well, and just getting the on play and then evolving over it. It's just amazing. This is literally the best starter and extender in the deck. Loved it. Then I played 4 of the EX03 Pamu. This card's great. This is just I don't think I've ever seen a Bloomlord list that plays 3 or less than 4. And it's for a reason. This card's super good. It helps you out really annoying boards. It helps to trigger the Gummy, which yeah, that's great. And it's just an overall great card. Being able to just, because it also has a fantastic synergy with the Bloomlord, because you can just suspend this for the Bloomlord effect. You get to suspend something, so now you can actually use the piercing and hit over something, which is just amazing. I didn't do that too much, but it did come up once or twice, and it was amazing. So I did like it. And there's nothing really much better to play. Now, 4 of the card that was actually one of the biggest reasons to why I wanted to play this deck. I played 4 of the BT9 Palmamon.
Yeah, I wonder why. Tell us why, Aaron.
So, for those that don't know, this card says all turns players can play Digimon by effects, which might be counterintuitive, you might think, because I'm playing Bloomlord and you want to play cards with effects. But you can play this for free sometimes, and just end your combo with it, and it doesn't matter. And the next turn you just evolve over it, and it's like you don't care. So for you, it doesn't really matter. And against like in the current meta, this card's amazing because this card like it auto wins against the mirror sometimes if you just play it and they can't out it. This just stops them in their tracks. Especially if you have a board already and they don't, you just play this and they just can't create their board and can't play the game. It's great against Murvacross because you can, first of all, like you can play it out during your first combo with the Bloomlord and you just swing into their security and suddenly their tamers don't really get any effect. And then when this is on the board, I'm forcing them to hard play their Digimons instead of playing them with tamers, which slows them down by like 1 or 2 turns, which is atrocious for them. Yeah, it's absurd that this is a vegetation. Like, it has just perfect synergy. It's a searchable floodgate. And it's good against the rogue decks as well. It's not, like, awful against non-meta decks. Like, for example, I played against a Ofani control / Venus control deck. And I played this, and it was like, yeah, your Depth Sight didn't do anything. Because the ruling with Depth Sight is that it has to kill the... It has to resolve first and play the card before my Pomu dies. It goes, because my Pomu goes to minus DP, and then they play the card, and then my Pomu dies. And because the Pomu is still out, then they don't get to resolve the play effect with the Depth Sight, which is like
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, and I won because of that. And it's just really good. It's an amazing floodgate right now. I love it. Huge reason to why I wanted to play this deck. It's also like kind of nifty against Bisa, even though I didn't do too great against Bisa today. But it was mostly because I misplayed with this card. And like, it's actually kind of neat because you can block them from getting like with the ball, the Bielsa, and stuff like that. So yeah, I love this card. It's really good. And then I played 3 Mushroom. This card was good. It was like, the 2 costs did matter sometimes. I mostly just wanted another plant, and this was like the best one, for, like another vegetation. Because I felt like the worst hands with this deck were when you didn't have any Digimons, or especially no rookies to follow up your other stacks. So like when they clear your board, you want to be able to build a new one. And yeah, this card just helps with that. And it can also extend your combos because it's 2 costs, so you just need pop boost to play it out. I did like it a fair bit. And yeah, that's it for the rookies.
15 rookies. 15 rookies.
15 rookies. So it's quite a bit.
Do you think it's too much, or is it just perfect for Bloomlord?
I don't know if perfect is the correct word, but like it's definitely I definitely liked it. I as I said, I think like the worst hands are the ones where you run out of steam, and by having a lot of rookies, you like make sure that you can always like continue playing after your first combo. And it's no secret that like rookies are the best level in Digimon, so yeah, I like them. I guess one thing I could talk about is I didn't play any Terriermon.
Yeah, there's a lot of Bloomlord lists that actually play the Terriermon.
And I just wanted to have as many synergy cards as possible. I just didn't want any card that didn't like actually do anything in the deck. So
except being a good floodgate.
Yeah, and like if this wasn't a vegetation, it would have been like probably not played in this deck. I don't think I wouldn't play as many at least because the fact that this is a vegetation I can play it for free with Agitar or with Sunplow, that this card becomes so broken. So yeah, I really liked it though. I really like not playing Terrier because it felt like the fact that this one, because this is the one that would be like a Terrier, right? The fact that this is a vegetation, like I feel like just outshines Terriermon in every possible way. But it could be correct to like cut 1 for a Terrier, but I don't wanna. I loved having vegetations. Veggies are good for you. And then for the level 4s, I played 4 Sunflowers. This card is pretty busted. So for those that don't know, it says when Digivolving, by suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon card with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in one of its traits, and that has 3000 DP or less from your hand without paying its play cost. So yeah, this card just plays basically 50% of your deck for free when you evolve it. And I'll go into like why that's so broken later, but like it's just amazing. Its inheritable also comes up. Its inheritable is that when you suspend one of your Digimon,
your own Digimon, with an effect.
When an effect suspends one of your Digimon, draw 1, and that came up a lot. Like once again, draw power is really important in this deck because you want to like continue having fuel You don't want to run out of fuel. So the inheritable definitely comes up. And yeah, it's just it's just to start your combo. It extends your combos. It's amazing. Especially having multiples of this. If you have a lot of memory, you can just go into it, play something, and then you go into a new one and you play something, and you just get out a whole board for free. It's amazing. I then also played 4 red veggies. So objectively, this is an awful card because just Digimon costs 1 more and has 6,000 DP. So logically, this card is awful. But it's because this has 3,000 DP that makes it all actually broken, because it makes me able to play it for free with this and Agitar.
And it costs 1, and it's cheap to play from hand directly.
Yeah, I mean, Vegemon, normal Vegemon is as well. Normal Vegemon is obviously the better card, but this has 3,000 DP, which has just so many synergies with the deck that this card becomes a staple. It's also the same to, like, I guess this one is even more of an offender for that. I also played 4 Weedmon, which is just objectively a worse Vegemon in this deck. If it wasn't for that, the 3,000 DP was, like, so relevant. Because you want to be able to play stuff for free. Being able to play level 4s for free is actually really important because it allows you to extend with Blossomon a lot, which I did a fair amount of times. So yeah, but these were just cheap Evos that had 3,000 DP and were Vegetations, which was just fantastic. I loved having these because it allowed me to do very well with the next card I'll show. So I'll go into level 5s directly because it does have a lot to do with the deck. So I played 4 of the best card, Agitar. This card's broken. This card, it wouldn't, like, this card's amazing. So how this works is that this card says that you may, by suspending one of your green Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon card with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy that's 3,000 DP or less, or without playing Paycost. So it's basically this effect, but it's not on Digivolve, it's just the main, which is so broken.
And that you can suspend something else as well.
Yeah, both of these allow me to suspend something.
Okay.
I did fuck up with that, actually, a fair amount of time. But thankfully, I didn't really get punished by it. But yeah, this card's amazing. Because you can just evolve it in racing and then move it out and then start doing your combos. And I can go through that later, but like, it's incredibly... this card's just super strong. And also, it's inheritable, is that when you suspend one of your Digimon with an effect, so the same thing as Sunplow, but you get a memory instead. And that makes it so dumb because it allows you to go into your boss monster for really, really cheap. Sometimes I didn't pay any memory for it. And I'll go through that when we get to the boss monsters. But first I'll finish the level 5s with 4 Blossomons. Yeah, this card has been broken in green since it came out, so for like 2 years soon. Been pretty broken in green. Fantastic card. Evolve for free by suspending something. Yeah, not much to say. I guess the cool thing I could mention is like Cherrymon. So I didn't play Cherrymon in this test.
You didn't?
I did not, and that's like probably incorrect. I hadn't play tested with this. I was like, fuck it, I haven't tried it. I'm not trying it. And it's probably incorrect. Playing 1 Cherrymon is probably correct. Not sure what I would cut for it though, because I really like the 4 Blossos. Maybe it's like a mushroom, but I really like my as well. It's hard. I don't know what I would cut, but I would probably play 1 Cherry, because it's a searchable thing that allows you to survive. There's no reason not to play it. But I didn't for this tournament, and I didn't get punished for it. I got, like, lost 1 game. I think it was pretty bad against Bielsa that I didn't have it, so yeah. And those were my losses, Bielsa, so probably should have had the Cherry, and maybe I would have gone further. But yeah, Blasso was kind of broken. It's really good with Sunflower because it puts you in a position where if they put you at 4 memory, where you can get to 4 memory for the turn, you can get into a Bloomlord play that's almost as good as the Agitar play, and that's like, yeah, it's really good. And also it just Evo for free, so you can go end your turn on a Hydra instead after you've gone Bloom is also like kind of insane. Speaking about Bloom, I did play 4 of Bloomlord, the best guy, best boy. He is kind of broken, yeah. So what he says is, when digivolving, you may suspend 1 of your Digimon, then gain 1 memory for each suspended Digimon with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in one of their traits that you have in play. If you gain 2 or more memory by this effect. Unsuspend this Digimon, and it gains piercing for the turn. And then for every 2 suspended Digimon you have in play, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP and gains secured attack plus 1. That was a mouthful. But yeah, this card is broken.
It's disgusting, but it's really good. It's really good.
So, like, usually how you want to do this is you want to go, like, Agitar. So, after you've seen a lot of my cards suspend themselves, right? And suspend themselves, like, get out other cards. So how you want to do it is you want to, like, combine some of these cards together so you can get out a board of, like, 2 or 3 Digimon that, like, 1 is unsuspended and the 2 are suspended. And then you go into this and you gain 3 memory, so you evolve for like, yeah, you evolve for 1, and then you gain 1 memory from the Agitar if you had the broken line, and then you evolve for 3, and then you just swing with this, do 2 checks, 2 to 3 checks, and yeah, you can also pierce over whatever they had. It's like absolutely disgusting, and it puts you so ahead. I've never lost a game, I think, when I've done that, and my Bloomlord survived. It's just disgusting, actually. Speaking about disgusting, this card's also fairly disgusting, which is 3 Hydramon. Yeah, this card's amazing as well. It's like, it's an Ice Wall on a dragon, kinda.
On all turns.
Yeah. Yeah, just absolutely amazing. Just floodgates out some opponents, especially the mirror. You can just go into this and be like, oh yeah, you want to use one of your suspend effects? Okay, lose a bunch of memory. Like, yeah. This card's amazing. Also, I go specifically into what it does. So, when Digivolving, you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. This is just the first effect, which is already a pretty strong.
Or one of your own. It's been erupted.
Yeah. Suspend one of you. Actually, it says you may suspend one of you or your opponent's Digimon. But yeah, suspend anything. It usually doesn't come up suspending your own Digimon because you want to use the other effect of this card, which is all turns, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended. For each other suspended Digimon with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in its trait you have in play, gain 1 memory. So, if you go into this as the last thing you've done, let's say we combo with Bloomlord, we like have 2 to 3 stuff suspended, we go into this, okay, I suspend your last card, I gain 2 memories, so this efficiently became a 3-cost Evo, and then I do the other effect of this card, which is end of your turn once per turn. If you have 2 or more suspended Digimon with Vegetation, Plant, or Fairy in their traits, place one of your opponent's suspended Digimon at the bottom of its owner deck. So what I do is I go into that, it becomes a 3-cost Evo, then I put something at the bottom, and then, because the middle effect was all turns, they also are put on a, like, semi-ice wall where, like, oh, you attack, you lose 2 memory the first time.
You can't see it, but I'm currently shaking my head because I've experienced this so many times. Just you going into the Hydramon, bot decking something, making me lose memory, and I'm locked out from doing anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and this card was so good that people were running for it a while, and people still do run for it. I think I saw one of the winners of UC play for, and it's totally understandable because this card's broken as well. I like Blue more, and especially in a wider meta than the UC meta, but yeah, this card's amazing. Yeah, not much more to say about it, except, like, it's a great stabilizing tool as well. When you don't sit the broken combo, you can, like, go into this. Like, sometimes you just sit up, like, you sit the early pieces and can go super wide, but you don't sit the Bloomlord, then you can go into Hydra and just stabilize from there and put them at, like, oh yeah, I gained 4 memory. Once, not this tournament, but I've also gone, like, double Hydra sometimes, and then that's just game. There's no coming back. Like, when I gain, like, 6 memory for each attack, like, ooh. Yeah. So, then for Tamers, I have a lonely little Mimi. And, yeah.
Exciting.
Exciting. I hope I think it was round 5 opponent don't see this and get mad that I got the 1 Mimi. Maybe it was round 3. Anyway, this card's really, like... Okay, so the idea with the 1 Mimi is generally Mimi's kind of a brick, especially if you already have 1 Mimi, and this deck does not want bricks. Like, you're a combo deck, you need your hand flow to be very fluid. But 1 Mimi will very rarely brick your hand. Instead, actually, you can just play it in the early turns and you will, like, gain a lot from playing it early because it's a memory tamer. So the earlier you play it, the better. and just the 10% time you high roll it in security, you most of the time will auto win because suddenly that's an extra attack your opponent didn't plan for, or like just an extra egg hatch. So yeah, I think just the 1 is probably correct, just because of the high roll potential of the card, and it doesn't, as a 1-off, it's like very hard for the card to brick your hand. So yeah, that's my argument for the 1-off Mimi instead of playing 0 Mimi, because I don't want to play more than 1 Mimi. Yeah, that's all I want to say about that card, I guess. It was really good when I played it early as well, just from hand today, so I didn't mind it at all. 4 green memory boosts, which is kind of standard for memory boost in a combo deck.
I think you have to play the memory boost here to use.
Yeah.
If you don't have the combo on hand, you have to find your pieces, and you need to gain that memory.
Yeah. Also, like, these became way better because, like, I would have still played 4 memory boosts regardless, probably, but it is a point of to like take up that, like, I expected Cross to be like the most popular deck, and they can't play memory blockers, so this card can never like get floodgated. But you have to adapt sometimes. Sometimes you just don't play this because you know they play like the memory blocker and you get fucked if you play this. But most of the time, this card's just amazing. It just fixes your hands, and it's a pretty good cost as well because it's like usually you can end your turn on it and not give your opponent too much memory. So I like it as a 4-up. I don't know why I'm blabbering about 4 memory boost in my combo deck, but I am. Then I played 2 Samadhi Santi. I actually hated this card first when I first like played the deck, but I've come around. This card's pretty solid. It helps you out floodgates that you couldn't out otherwise. It also like helps you sometimes stall out the game so you can draw your like combo pieces. I once did this on a Ayamako, and that was like the one game I stole against Bielsa because oh yeah, you lost your Ayamako turn, and now I can just do something next turn, and you're 1 turn too late. So yeah. Fantastic card, and once again, just outing floodgates, which is this deck's bane. This deck loses pretty hard to some floodgates. Like sometimes a memory blocker is just like, oh well, I guess it's jumping time. Like it's not good. Yeah, as I said, I don't like this. I didn't like this, but I like it now way more.
Because it's like the only tool you have sometimes to get yourself out of bad situations.
Yeah.
Because them not expecting you to suspend something for 1 cost and then you hit and then hitting it over, it can mean the entire game. Yeah.
That's basically all I want to say about this. I guess you could speak about some. I did one cool thing once where I did use it to like to gain memory basically because I had multiple Agitars under multiple level 6s. So then it became a Hammer Spark, which was kind of cute. But that's about it. Like it's a pretty simple card. All in all, it's like simple card, but like hard to master kind of thing, I guess.
And Aaron, what is the last card in your hand? What could it possibly be?
I don't know, man. What could it be? Maybe the best card ever printed in Digimon? The God card itself. Yeah. I drew this a lot today.
Like in my opinion, that card should be banned.
Yeah, this card should be banned. I don't know why it's not. It creates unhealthy games. It creates non-games. I'm gonna say though, I was pretty good with this card. I want to say it's like not because it's a 1-up. It is a resource in itself. Like I think I won at least 2 of my games because I didn't go like trigger happy HPD and instead like chilled. Use this when I need it, when I need to swing the game because my play was already good enough. But yeah, this card's stupid. I don't think I lost any game where I played this card.
Just to tell people out there watching how stupid of a card this is. Can you do an example, the best scenario where you use this card, what it does?
I don't remember the best scenario, but just so what this card says is like, main the next time one of your green Digimon digivolves this turn, you may suspend one of your Digimon to reduce the memory cost of the Digimon by 5. Now, notice how there's no Digimon in this deck that costs more than 5. So it basically says, there's barely any Digimon in the game that costs more than 5. So basically it says, suspend something, Digivolve for free. Now, this is really good when both of my level 6s are 4 and 5 cost Evos. Because they're already pretty hefty by themselves, especially Hydra. So you get to do them for free, which is basically playing 5 Hammer Sparks, which is you think about that one, and then, for example, I think this was the most disgusting one to use. But since both of these gain you memory when you evolve them, you essentially do more than 5 Hammer Sparks. You do X amount of Hammer Sparks extra for each extra Digimon you had suspended.
Yes.
Essentially. So this card usually, when I had this card with this, I usually gained 4 memory for the turn, and I had a free Evo to Bloomlord. And same thing with Hydra. I usually gained like 3 to 4 memory, and I just got a free Hydra out, which is like insane. And I also did use this sometimes to like cheat out an Agitar, just so I could continue playing and do shit. So yeah, this card's just like broken, and I think I kept it 99%. There was one hand I didn't keep it with when my hand was like, I think my hand was this, and I was like, yeah, I'm not keeping this. It was like this. This was like the only hand I didn't keep it with. Otherwise, I kept this in almost every hand, because I just felt like any hand with this card was usually like gonna blow my opponent out, even if it wasn't perfect. So yeah, that's it. I think that should be all the 50 cards.
Is there anything you, in perspective of the tournament, that you would have changed? Like just looking at the deck right now?
Probably the cherry. I would probably try to include a cherry, but I just do not know what I would cut for a cherry. It's like maybe the Mimi, but I did like the Mimi. Possibly it could be like a mushroom for a cherry, and I don't hate that either. Or a Weedmon for a cherry. Because there were some games where like I had these in like too many. There was also that one game where I didn't draw one in like 20 cards. So, you know, give and take. Let's not be too results oriented though. Cutting one weed for cherry is probably correct. But yeah, that was my run. Shout outs. I want to give a huge shout out to, well, you, Heike, who played this thing with me.
Thank you.
Huge shout out to Oliver, who was totally down to sit with us and go through my place. And was also willing until like it got too late to play this Bielsa, which thinking about it, I probably would have needed it looking at my results, but he was willing and it got too late. In yeah, but huge shout out to him. Shout out to everyone who sat with us. Philip for sitting with us even though he wasn't playing. Kevin, our tie master.
3 ties. What a lad. What a lad.
What a fucking lad. Congrats on the top as well to him. And who more was it? Shout out to Niels. He was also with us in the early morning. Shout outs to Psycho, played also with us.
So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like and a subscribe, and we'll see if Aaron will return to the channel next time we both, for some reason, get toppings in a big tournament, 4 places beside each other.
Next regional.
We're gonna do it. Have a good one. Bye bye.